What's up, ninjas? We are back. We're back at the mini range. Deer season's finally over. I thought I would go ahead and do kind of a review on the bolt action AR. I know I haven't really done like a bunch of actual gun reviews, but I've had this thing a little over a year now. Basically just going to give you my final thoughts on it. So these are made by a company called Uintah Precision. We actually got a chance to meet up with them at SHOT Show and talk a little bit. I love this thing. You guys have seen it on the channel. If you watch the channel, you know this gun, and it used to be white, and I recently did a pretty cool little M81 themed camo paint job on it. Looks really awesome. We also just got the Jaguar silencers Cam 762. This is their hub mounted one. They also make one in a direct thread. So Uintah is pretty much known for their bolt action AR uppers. This one is the AR-15 style. They also make larger calibers, AR-10 style, and they do muzzle loaders. They do their own semi-automatics, so definitely a really good company. The barrels that they use are just really precise. I mean, even this thing, it's like super, super accurate. I've hit hole for hole. Like, I mean, it is an 8-inch barrel, so 300 Blackout does perform pretty well out of shorter barrels. But I mean, at 25 yards, which I know isn't super impressive, but I mean, I can hit hole for hole. And further distances, I mean, your accuracy is really limited to your ammo and stuff like that. So I'm just using some cheap ammo ink stuff. So first shots out of the Jaguar silencers Cam 762. So these cans are made out of 718 Inconel. They are 3D printed. A lot more companies are moving towards 3D printing. You can get some crazy internal geometries. These are vented at the front. If you can see that, we'll go ahead. I got two cameras set up. We'll give you guys a dual screen action, but yeah, 3D printed, not homemade YouTube. These are not homemade by any means. So let's go ahead and take a couple shots. We're basically going to try to do a sound comparison. I've got all my other cans, so we'll see which one's the quietest. But let's go ahead and take a couple shots here. Whoops. Yeah, this ammo ink stuff, the reason why I got it is because it wouldn't feed in my semi-autos. If you look here, you can't really tell because there's nothing to compare it to, but the bullets are a lot shorter than like a normal 300 Blackout, so it's not wanting to feed on me. I promise it's not the gun. I'm also using the magazine from the CZ600, so I mean, yeah, it's the mag, and probably the ammo too. Yeah, let me switch mags real quick and I'll come right back. All right, YouTube, I forgot my helmet, guys. Always wear ear protection even when shooting suppressed. Even though these are hearing safe, I mean, it is still a little bit loud, so you definitely want to have your ears on. Now I'm using the AAC Precision 220 grain. These are really good rounds, super accurate. These are an open tip match. Go ahead and take a couple shots and we'll switch the cans up and see which one's more quiet or more loud. Really love this thing. So like I said, this thing is pretty hearing safe. I also have the Anako suppressor, and then we have the OG Omega 300. So let me take one more shot and we'll go ahead and switch it up for you guys. Let this thing cool down a bit. Alright guys, now we have the Anako X30L. I did a little tabletop review on these. We visited them at SHOT Show. I only shot one round through it on my first initial range test, and I really don't think I gave it very much credit. I mean, that first loud one could have been first round pop. They did go ahead and send me out a solid end cap. However, it was supposed to be here today, but it didn't show up, so we'll just have to wait till Monday, I guess. Well, it was supposed to be here yesterday. Today's Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. But yeah, it didn't show up. So, I mean, I did already shoot this with the CZ600, which you guys may or may not see later. But we'll go ahead and take a couple shots with this just to do a little sound comparison and stuff like that. These are still the AAC Precision 220s. subsonic. Here we go. But I mean, you do have some very large ports on the front there. As you can see, they are quite large. This thing is going to be great for the Green Goblin build. We'll have that probably a separate episode. But let me see if I can give you guys a quick little John Wick style B-roll action here. And we're out. Well, that wasn't very interesting. And I shot over the top of the target block. I heard that thing go whizzing by. But yeah, I can't really tell because of the headphones, but I'll let the microphones be the judge of how loud this sucker is. So we have two more. We have the Omega 300 and then the Obsidian 9. So we'll test both of those, see which one reigns supreme as the quietest. In a separate video, we're going to be running this on the AR. So for the Uintah Precision, this thing, it's going to be great if you're looking for a bolt action upper and you don't really want to get a dedicated bolt action rifle. Let's say maybe you already have an AR lower. You could just buy the upper by itself. You have a bolt action setup. These actually don't need a buffer spring. You can get by without running a buffer tube. What I did was I threw a law folder on the back, and then that gave it just enough room for the bolt to go back. It does go back a little bit in there. So if you guys follow the channel for a long time, before the pistol brace ban was lifted, I had it just on a law folder with a little CMMG end cap in the end, and it was like a true pistol. But yeah, so the bolt does go a little bit further back. If you wanted to run bufferless, you would have to do some like serious wizardry with like a law folder or any other folder probably, and then you could do a Picatinny or something like that. But I mean, you could just throw a regular buffer tube in there, and it will work with a buffer and spring in there. You don't need it. It would kind of just be a pain in the ass because you would have to be forcing it back up against the spring. So I just leave the buffer spring out, and runs pretty good. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit. We'll switch up to the Omega 300, take some more shots, and keep going down the line. I also want to thank Atlanta Arms for sending out some of their 300 Blackout. These are 220 grain full metal jackets. We're going to try these out, see how we like them. They also sent out some 5.56, and we got some self-defense 9mm ammo. I didn't bring the 9mm just because I want to actually get a clear ballistics block and do a little ballistics test with a bunch of different ammos. So right now, huge thank you to Atlanta Arms. We have their 300 Blackout 220 grain full metal jackets. And the suppressor has finally cooled off. I've kind of shot some other stuff in the meantime. But we have the good trusty Omega 300. We'll take a few shots with this, and then we will move on to the last one, the Obsidian 9. So this one has been the most quiet, I feel like. We've shot this tons of times on the channel. Super accurate. This ammo, I mean, it's full metal jacket. It's, I guess it really wouldn't be considered a match ammo, even though it does actually say classic match on the box. I really am not going to do an accuracy test on these. I'm just going to shoot them. So if you guys want to see like a real sit-down accuracy test, we will do one. But right now I'm just going to shoot these. We're basically doing a sound comparison and then a little short review on the bolt action 300 Blackout upper. Yeah. I noticed these are a little bit shorter, like the Ammo Inc. rounds, so they're kind of getting bound up in the mag. These aren't the P mags for the 300 Blackout. I noticed the shorter rounds perform a bit better in those 300 Blackout mags specific, but I mean, they're going to work. All right. Well, we have 3 rounds left. I got a little excited. I shot all but 3 rounds. So we're going to have to only take 3 shots with the next suppressor, but this thing it performs well. I mean, it does have its hiccups with the shorter ammo, but I mean, it really won't feed in a semi-auto. I don't know if this stuff will. It really would be ideal since those projectiles are thicker. I don't know if you could see in there, but the 300 Blackout mags, the internal geometry is a little different, and it's actually better for like stuff like this where the projectile's really thick up towards the top. But yeah, it did shoot. It was accurate as far as I could tell. I've got a big hole down there where I've been shooting in the center. So yeah, I'll let this cool down. We'll switch it up to the Obsidian 9 and we'll finish out with a little closing thoughts. Alright guys, sorry if you guys can hear the four-wheeler going. Jaguar just got a four-wheeler. He's really excited. He's ripping all around. But we have the Obsidian 9 with the cherry bomb adapter. This is the Plan B. I believe these are alpha style threads, but either way, it'll go on to the cherry bomb. I'll have to blur this out. So the Obsidian 9 is rated for 9mm obviously, and then 300 Blackout, but only subsonic. So I'm not going to shoot any supers out of this. I've loaded up a few of the ammo ink rounds, and then we have the last 3 will be the Atlanta arms. But first time ever shooting 300 Blackout out of the Obsidian 9. Let's see how it is. Not bad. Quite a bit smaller than 9mm, so I'm not too concerned with baffle strikes anyway. Not that it would have any. It is pretty quiet though. I mean, I'll have to review the footage in post and see, because obviously I have headphones on. I can't really hear it. But it sounds quiet. And then for a bonus, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the top section. We'll get you guys a little sound comparison with the K configuration. So I'll be right back. Bear with me for just a second. All right, we got a little bit of an audience here. Jaguar had to come check out what was going on. But yeah, we got the last 3 rounds are the Atlanta arms, and I got the short configuration on here. So it's going to be probably quite a bit louder. We'll see though. Yeah, quite a bit louder. And then the ammo, of course. Not really blaming it on the ammo, it's the magazine. Quite a bit louder with the short configuration. But overall, I mean, this thing freaking rocks. Alright guys, so a little conclusion on the 300 Blackout bolt action from Uintah Precision. This is the UPR 15. They do the UPR 10s, which is obviously a 308 style action. Definitely a great option, but they are kind of expensive. I mean, if you really are in the market for something like this, not everybody is interested in a bolt action AR, but I got to tell you, they are very accurate. I do believe they have a sub MOA guarantee. Obviously, something like this 8-inch 300 Blackout is probably not going to do sub MOA. I don't know, though. I haven't tested it at 100 yards. But on their full-length rifles, definitely sub MOA. Also, if you haven't checked out the interview we did with Jason over at Uintah Precision at SHOT Show, definitely check that out. They have their new Gen 2s, a very nice updated upper and handguard. It looks a lot cooler, even though, I mean, this is obviously pretty cool still. But yeah, the paint job, I'm digging the paint job. If you guys love the M81 camo like I do, I mean, I don't know if you can see my pants. Maybe if I stand back here. I'm rocking the M81 pants always. But yeah, we're definitely loving this thing. I'm excited to try out the new Gen 2. I may possibly be getting an 8.6 Blackout. So I mean, that's going to be like way better than this, the big brother to this, although it will be more expensive to shoot. But yeah, my over a year review on this thing, I love it. I use it for hunting. I just have fun with it. I mean, if I had an actual like 308 like full length 20-inch or 24-inch barrel or a 6.5 Creedmoor, like I'm telling you, I could hit really accurately at long ranges with this thing. So if you guys are interested, I don't make any money if you guys buy these, and I'm not really recommending that anybody buy them, YouTube. I'm just saying if you are interested, based upon my thoughts, check them out. I can't link their website, but I mean, You know the company, so I mean, look it up if you want. But yeah, really great product, really great rifle. And I bought this with my own money, and I'll tell you why I bought it. So some of my first range day videos, we were doing the 300 Blackout syrup squirrel, like the Honey Badger Adams Arms clone, and it would not feed this Ammo Inc. ammo that we were using. And I was like, well, shit, I bought a bunch of this ammo. I have nothing that will cycle it reliably. How about I get a bolt action? So I had like 600 rounds of that, and it doesn't really make sense. I could have honestly just sold the ammo or shot it single shot out of the freaking semi-auto, but I was like, why don't I just get a bolt action? I'll spend $1,200 on a bolt action upper just to shoot this freaking $500 worth of ammo or however much it was. Yeah, so that's my reasoning, the original reason why I bought this, and I don't regret it at all. This is the gun I always say that kind of started the channel. This got the most hate and the most love at the beginning. A lot of you guys don't understand the purpose of a bolt-action AR, but I mean, it's a bolt-action AR. It's cheaper than the Q Minifix. The Q Minifix is another bolt action. It's not an AR platform, so I think this does have an advantage over that just because it is AR compatible. I don't know if the Q is like AR trigger or anything like that, but I mean, you could just buy the upper for like probably more than half the price of an actual Q Minifix if you were wanting something like that. So yeah, Uintah Precision bolt action 300 Blackout, 8.6 possibly coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys think about it down below.